Welcome to PCN Life. I'm Brian Sullivan.
And I'm Julie Thompson. It's good to be back.
Julie, I heard you had a well-deserved vacation. I missed you like crazy around here.
Thank you. Well, actually, I went to Las Vegas to watch the Super Bowl, to have a big Super Bowl party, and it was not the ending that we wanted for our dear Patriots, but it is what it is.
And you didn't get to see Wayne Newton.
I did not get to see Wayne.
So the whole thing is a wash.
It was a waste. Okay. Anyway, tonight we have Anne Jolles back on set to talk about the courage portion of the Grace Trail. Great change takes great courage.
And Munk Duane is on set for our arts and entertainment segment to play us some tunes, including a new one from his recently released album, Theory of History.
And we start our program at the 110 Fitness in Rockland. Brian, you stopped in for a ribbon-cutting story and was drawn to this story by Rock Steady Boxing. Tell us what it is and about it that was so cool.
It was just a really heartwarming story. It was amazing. We do a lot of ribbon-cutting stories, and I felt like there's a lot more to this than just the opening of a new place. The place is incredible. Mm-hmm. It's a wellness center that's not just this boxing class. They have, you name it. They've got art classes, they've got massage therapy. You can run the list of all these great things to promote mindfulness, but the big draw on this night, for me at least, was the Rock Steady Boxing program, which started in the mid-2000s, I want to say 2006. It's a nonprofit group, and what they do is they focus on the population that has Parkinson's disease. Mm-hmm. And we get into that a lot more in this story, so I think we should watch it.
Love to see it.
While visitors were enjoying the grand opening of 110 Fitness and Wellness Center at its new location in Rockland, Massachusetts, Paul Badukowitz was rapping away on one of the speed bags in a room that looks very much like the place where boxers would train. The Wellness Center features art classes and massage therapy, among many other things that promote mindfulness, and they were all very attractive to the guests on this night. But Badukowitz had his heart set on being in this room here, what he would consider the crown jewel of this new location. This is the home for Rock Steady Boxing, a non-profit group that created a non-contact boxing exercise program for people just like Badukowitz, who are living with Parkinson's disease.
I love it. I just can't wait to punch the bag, and when you come, if you come and see us, we do pad work. He puts them on his hands and we hit them, and it's combinations. It's awesome.
Since being sidelined by a leg injury he sustained outside of class, Badukowitz has been favoring his weaker side, as evidenced by this southpaw being more coordinated, punching with his less dominant right side and laboring more with the left.
I haven't been able to do it for a couple months, and my tremors have gotten considerably worse. So this slows it. It seems to slow it down for me. I was diagnosed 2 years ago, and it was a lot less everything was a lot less when I was doing it. So I'm hoping to get back as soon as I can.
We stopped back in for one of their weekday classes to see what it was all about. This Rock Steady program in Rockland is one of over 500 locations worldwide and one of 20 right here in Massachusetts. While research has shown 60,000 cases of Parkinson's disease are diagnosed annually, nearly half that number can be found training with the Rock Steady program.
Just to show how seriously these boxers take this class, they came out in this snowstorm today. In fact, many of them noticed regressions after missing only one class, so a little snow and ice on the roads wasn't about to slow them down this afternoon.
And as fun as it all looks, the program is based on clinical research, which has shown results.
The medical documentation states that if you come and box 2 to 3 days a week under the Rock Steady Boxing program, that you have a neuroprotective response to the dopamine cells, which are the cells that break down in the brain when you have Parkinson's disease.
That science is applied in the form of non-contact boxing. That entails all of the same training a boxer would do: heavy bags, speed bags, footwork, balance work, and agility drills. The one missing factor is contact between the participants. By any other name, this would appear to be a pretty serious workout. Brett Miller's 24 years of being a physical therapist led him to working with this specialized population.
I was working with Parkinson's patients in the fitness arena and at their homes doing exercise programs, and I'm also involved in the professional boxing world. And it's the perfect balance for me because it involves all the therapy and all the boxing together.
The low-key person in this interview takes on a whole different persona when he's out on the floor. Out there, he's the motivator in chief. It's what draws the big crowds, which he hopes will make 110 Fitness the largest wellness center for Parkinson's disease in the United States. So far, everyone coming to class is on board for that ride to the top.
It's been a lifesaver, and we've established this family here that we're all fighting for the same thing, and he's our leader. He might not want you to say that, but he's our leader, and he leads the way, and he's just like, he's contagious. That's what it is, and he got something special, and we all know it.
I need me some dopamine. I need me some dopamine. Oh my, oh me. Oh my, oh me. Rocksteady is the place to be. Rocksteady is the place to be. We are Rocksteady. 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 Rocksteady.
In Rockland, reporting for PCN Life, I'm Brian Sullivan.
We are so pleased to welcome back onto set Anne Jolles for our segment that we call the Writer's Block. Now, Anne is a life coach, but you're a writer.
Yes, I am.
And you also are the developer of the Grace Trail that you wrote a book about.
Yes.
For the people that have not seen your previous segments that you've done with us, talk about what the Grace Trail is, how you came to write about it, and where it is.
Okay. Well, Grace Trail is an actual inspirational trail right here in Plymouth.
Okay.
But the nice thing about the Grace Trail is you don't have to come to Plymouth, because it's a set of 5 very simple questions that people can ask anywhere or anytime. And it's sort of like virtually walking their own Grace Trail.
Okay.
So in 2012, when I found myself stumbling a bit, not a bit, but a lot, when my son was in Afghanistan, I decided to create a trail that I could walk on that would help me to feel better, but also to share it with the world so others could come and walk for any reason.
Okay.
And the wonderful thing is that people have found it and thousands have walked it.
Right.
So the GRACE is an acronym for gratitude, release, accept, challenge, and embrace.
Okay.
And there are 5 questions that naturally flow from those words. And they are possibly something like, even though life is very difficult, what can you be grateful for? So that's the G question.
Yep.
R would be, what do I need to release in my life to move forward?
Let go of. What
And
do I
let
have
go,
to
release
let go
in
of?
That's
Yep.
right.
Yep.
That's right.
And we all have those.
We all have those.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to do that all day.
Yep.
Let
Every
go.
day.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
And A is for acceptance.
Yep.
And the question would sound something like, what's calling out for acceptance in my life? What do I need to accept to move forward?
Okay. And that's just to take it as it is. Accept it as it is.
That's right.
And move on.
It's really to see things very clearly in your life, because so many people spend so much time in denial and not looking at the pain. And the only way through all the stuff, the tough stuff, is to go through it.
Right through it.
You know,
Yep.
you can't
you
avoid
can't go around it. No,
No.
it's going to be there.
It's there.
Yep.
So the C is for challenge.
Okay.
And it's not the challenge like, oh, what's my next challenge? It's like, what challenge do I want to give myself to move forward in the direction of my choice?
Right.
So it's that sort of a challenge.
Right. So today we're going to talk about challenge.
Yes, we are. Today's challenge.
And next time we're going to talk about the E, which
The
stands
E.
for?
Embrace.
Embrace.
What can I embrace as possible in my precious life?
Okay. All right, so before we get into challenge,
Yes.
I know last time you were on, I asked you how would I create my own Grace Trail if
Right.
I wanted to.
Right.
Because you have a beautiful Grace Trail here in Plymouth.
Right.
That's literally a trail that you
That's
walk.
right, literally, yeah.
How long is it?
It's a mile-long loop, runs along the harbor through beautiful fields.
Yeah.
And the stones are placed about, a fifth of the way. There's a stone that has the question on it,
Yep.
little inspirational stones.
For each letter.
For
in
each
Grace.
letter,
Yep,
that's
yep.
right. So
as
there's a
you-
gratitude stone, and you ask the gratitude question,
Yep.
and you walk along and you find the release stone,
Yep,
and you ask the
release question.
Yes.
Okay, so it's literally a trail.
It's literally a trail, yes.
Right, and you don't have to visit a physical trail.
Nope.
Though you can visit in your mind.
That's right. Yep.
And does this talk about creating a trail in your mind or
Oh, yeah.
actually creating a trail?
Yep. No, I like to say you can walk the trail, talk the trail, and rock the trail.
Okay.
Walk it, talk it, and rock it. And so you walk it, people are making their own physical trails. Schools,
Yep.
churches, recovery centers, hospitals, they're popping up all over the country. And you can talk your own trail just by, people are using it in groups,
Yeah.
they're using it, book clubs, support groups, survivor groups for cancer. All different people are asking the 5 questions
Right.
to find their own answers.
Right. And you really need to go in the order of the questions.
Well,
that's
it's funny.
part of the important part of it.
It really flows beautifully if you ask the 5 questions in a row. But I find myself now, after all these years of walking and talking the Grace Trail, I can really start wherever. Because, yeah. But any one of those 5 questions throughout your day is going to help you wake up, and I call it living life alive.
Yes.
It's just going to wake you up and bring you more conscious and present. So you're making a choice in your life how you want to spend the next moment versus just sort of being dragged along.
Okay. So let's talk about, so again, it's gratitude, release, accept, challenge, and embrace.
Yes.
So today we're going to focus on challenge.
That's right.
Now, in this day and age, in this life that we have,
Yeah.
Everybody has challenges.
Everybody.
There are physical challenges,
Yep.
there are financial challenges, there are emotional challenges, there are challenges at work, challenges with family. Where do you begin to define what is my greatest challenge if you know you have more than one, or 2, or 6?
So with all that discussion about challenges, all I say to people is welcome to the human race,
Yeah.
right? We're
Right.
all in this, and we all have challenges. So it's a wonderful question to ask, how do I want to challenge myself? And I say to people that the first thing about challenge is you have to have the energy and the interest to pursue a challenge. It's very hard to do that from a place of feeling broken down or so discouraged. So it's really important to notice your energy and work on your energy and take care of yourself so that you have the enthusiasm and the vitality to actually say, what do I want to do today with my precious life to move forward? And so there's a certain energy, that's what I'm saying, to challenging yourself.
Now, is challenge, I often think of challenge as a physical challenge, like I want to quit smoking, I want to lose weight, I want to run the marathon, whatever, physically I want to do something. Do you find it's more physical, mental, emotional, or
All
is
of them.
it's all combined?
Because if you want to do something physical, you got to get your mental and your heart behind it,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
But the other thing is that a challenge can just be about your attitude, new perspectives, and just showing up in the world a little differently. It really can be. And the other sweet thing about this step is you can actually challenge other people.
Give me an example.
Well, if you, I just walked the trail with a gentleman, he's a writer, and we were just chatting and talking about things, and at the end, the one challenge I had for him was, I really think he's a writer, he's an actor, and he's a photographer.
Oh.
I said, do you do Instagram? He was like, no. I said, you know what? I'm going to give that as a challenge to you.
Yeah.
And I said, I would really like to challenge you to get proficient with Instagram because he's got everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to be proficient, but I'm not a photographer, you know,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
those things. He's
But for
got
him,
it.
it works.
He's got it.
Right.
And so when I give someone a challenge, they can say, that's a great challenge. I'm going to do that. Or
Yeah.
they can say, you know what? I don't like that much. So the third step is, okay, what do you need to do? So they
Right.
can say yes to a challenge, no to a challenge, but they have to redesign it.
Okay.
What works for
you? Right. What about ages? Like
Okay.
children. I mean, can children walk the Grace Trail?
There
Can
are
children
yeah.
learn from this?
Yes.
Can they embrace this?
Children love it because one of the things they love is that it's tangible.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
rocks. They're
It's
beautiful rocks.
Yeah,
and
so
kids love rocks.
Right. So I had 2 students from a local high school come and ask me to mentor them on building a Grace Trail in between a high school and the
and a
middle
junior high.
school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they went into the junior high and they told them the whole story of Grace Trail, and they brought all these beautiful beach stones and markers, and the art classes all day made inspirational stones to put onto the trail between the schools. And what happened during that is these 6th, 7th, and 8th graders were talking the Grace Trail. They were talking the questions, and they used their own language.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the Grace Trail is you really can tailor the questions to meet the age
Yeah.
and the interest of
It's
anyone.
multi-generational.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And do you find it's great for parents to walk the Grace Trail with
yeah.
their children?
Yep.
Or for elderly people to walk it with their grandchildren? Or
Yeah, and when I'm on the trail, especially in the nice weather, I see family reunions.
Yeah.
I've seen wedding parties.
Yeah.
And I've walked it a number of times with a yoga camp for girls, the Girl Scouts, church groups that are all ages, and the questions couldn't be any simpler.
Right.
You know,
They're
kids,
very easy. Yeah.
And I mean, you don't have to say to a kid, what are you grateful for? You might want to say, what are you glad about today?
Right.
You know,
right.
just try to use their language.
Right.
And what makes you happy?
Right.
That's going to bring you right to gratitude.
Yeah.
So there's a whole language around each of the letters, and the more proficient you get, the more fun it is.
So challenge for your work. Let's talk about challenge for your work versus challenge for your life outside of work.
Okay.
What are the biggest things that you find that people have challenges with their work and how they can help themselves work through those challenges?
Well, the first thing I like to ask people is, what environment or culture do you work in?
Right.
Can you take risks? Can you really make a mistake at work? If you
Yeah.
want to challenge yourself to do something really different and daring at work that you think is innovative and would carry the company forward, how's the company going to embrace it if it doesn't work?
Yeah, right.
Because in success, there's failure.
Right.
And you have to be able to move beyond the failure
Right.
To the next challenge and redesign the next challenge to move you closer to where you want to go.
Right.
So the first question is, how does your work and your company,
Right.
how can they live with, if you take on a challenge
Will
and
they
it
allow you
doesn't
to
work?
try it? Will
Yeah.
they even
Will
allow
they
you to
allow
try
it?
it? Right.
And what if the
Right.
outcome is not as
Right.
expected?
Right.
How will they react?
And I know so many people who are stuck. They say, I'm stuck in a job, I hate my job, I really wish I could go out and do this on my own. That's really the ultimate challenge, is to leave the safety net of a job and 40 hours a week and 9 to 5 and do something.
Right.
How have you found that the Grace Trail helps people coalesce that idea in their minds?
Okay. Well, I think the C in challenge stands for a lot of things. It stands for courage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It stands for commitment,
Yeah.
creativity,
Yeah.
curiosity, and there's one C that's not there. It's the comfort zone.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any really well-designed challenge is going to take you out of your comfort zone, because your adventure is not going to begin in your
Right.
comfort zone.
Right.
So
You're gonna take the risk.
I work with people to analyze the risk.
Yeah.
Is that a fatal risk if it fails?
Right. Right.
Then there's got to be another plan that can bring you both the safety you need
Yep.
and to move you in that direction.
And I would think the challenge, if you decide I'm going to take the challenge,
Yeah.
are you the only person that you're putting at risk? Or are you putting your company at risk, your family at risk,
Right.
your finances at risk, whatever? So
It has to be
you
a
have
whole-
to,
yeah.
right, you have to, you literally have to kind of walk the Grace Trail to come back to challenge, because you had to have gone through all those other steps too.
That's right.
Right?
That's
to
how
come
it
to
works.
this-
It's a
yeah.
beautiful circle.
And you
it-
really can start anywhere.
You really
Because I said
can.
to you, do you need to start at the beginning?
Yeah.
And you really don't, do
No.
you?
No, you don't.
You can just start wherever your life takes you at that moment.
Right.
Okay, so it's called the Grace Trail.
Yes.
And it's www.gracetrail.com, which is really easy to remember.
Yep.
You can learn to build or create your own Grace Trail, whether
Yes.
it's a physical Grace Trail
Yep.
or a Grace Trail in your mind.
That's right.
Highly recommend that you read this book. It's very inspirational. It's a warm and comfy
Oh, thank you.
feeling book. So you read it and you put it down and you say, wow, anything's possible.
Yeah.
And that's really your whole,
Anything is
yeah,
possible.
that's the whole
Yeah.
idea.
So let me just say this to you on anything possible.
Yeah.
The idea of grace came to me at one of the lowest points in my life 18 years ago. I was standing in my kitchen feeling very discouraged. I said, I need to step into state of grace. That's a whole other story we don't have time for.
Okay.
But how is it I'm sitting here 18 years
years
later
later.
talking to you
Yeah.
about Grace Trail?
Yeah.
Tell me. I will tell you anything's possible.
Yep.
That's
Oh,
what I
you
will
got
tell
it.
you.
You got it.
And never in my wildest dreams
Yeah.
could I have
Yeah.
imagined
And here you are.
that it evolved. Yeah, it's
Okay. And we
wonderful.
will have you back to talk about E.
I'm so excited.
Embrace. We will embrace you.
That's right.
Once
Thank
again.
you. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. And for tonight's art and entertainment music on the set segment, we have Munk Duane. He's a singer, songwriter, a dad, a guitar guy, and an all-around delightful fellow. This February, Munk Duane released his new album entitled Theory of History, and he is on set to play a little something from that album. Mr. Duane, take it away.
The first mistake you make is telling me all that you know. How do you know? Where do I go to gain a piece of this great knowledge? Should you be the keeper of the vault of many secrets? Telling lies will compromise the way that we would leave it. I'm hating on the silence. When you're walking while I'm talking, I'm breathing your device. I'm getting really tired of your strategy for stalling and your random acts of blindness. Oh, blindness. Oh, blindness. Thinking all the noble thoughts is all so well and good. What do? How do you move when you're doing it that all? The level's never set, it's crowded with regret. You turn to me, I turn to you, and ask you use your head. And I'm hating on the silence. When you're walking while I'm talking, and I'm breathing your defiance. I'm getting really tired of your strategy for stolen and your random acts of blindness. Oh, blindness. Oh, blindness. Oh, yes. And if no one gets to what their mamas taught them to, every one of us would lose. If no one cared to learn, then we'd burn, burn, burn. I'm hating on the silence. When you're walking while I'm talking, and I'm breathing your defiance. I'm getting really tired of your strategy for stolen and your random acts of blindness. Oh, blindness. Oh, blindness. Oh, blindness.
Munk Duane, thank you so much for coming on set tonight, and welcome
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
to PCN Life.
Oh my goodness.
Right? It's the first time
Here I
you're on.
am.
It's here. It's real. It's real
know.
life. Everybody now, it's life. So, Munk, you're definitely a guy on the South Shore scene. You know, you gig, you have your original work, and you're South Shore and beyond, really. Give me kind of like the Cliff Notes version of how you ended up here, you know, and where your music is now.
So I originally came to Massachusetts from New York to go to Berkeley, and I never left. So I stayed in Massachusetts. I've been here a long, long time now. I do a lot of work outside of Massachusetts, do work for TV and film, so there's, you know, the LA thing, but this is where my family is. This is where I'm rooted. This is where I play live all the time, and that's where I'm at.
Excellent, excellent. So you mentioned, you know, other than Munk the musician,
Yes.
there's a family man here too.
Yes.
Yeah, so you've got a family. Is music a family pastime?
No. Let's put it this way. So my 5-year-old, she plays piano. She wants to be like Dad, which is kind of awesome.
Cool.
My son, I started him on guitar when he was 9, but he didn't really stick with it. He said, "I want to play sax in the school jazz band,"
That's still pretty cool.
which is totally cool, right?
Yeah.
So I did give him one piece of advice, which he didn't. You know, I'm Dad, so he doesn't believe what I say.
Dad.
I told him that as long as you play guitar, you will never have to start a conversation with a girl. He didn't believe me. So
It's kind of true.
So I go to his first school jazz band concert, and there he is playing the saxophone, and everyone gets up to take a solo. The guitar player gets up to take a solo, and all the girls in the front row start screaming. And he looks at me, and I looked right at him, and I'm like, "I told you." It was an awesome Dad, I told you so
Awesome Dad
moment.
moment.
But yeah, so that's
it's
as far as it goes.
It's in there,
It
you know,
is,
and they'll
yeah.
get older, maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe,
I have
you know?
hopes for my youngest.
High hopes.
Yes.
High hopes. So as I was doing my research on you, I came across, you know, you had mentioned you're a bit of a guitar addict. So really important, very personal question.
Yes.
What's your favorite guitar and why?
Okay, so favorite guitars are like ice cream, right? So maybe I'm in the mood for chocolate today, vanilla tomorrow, but The flavor for the past 2 years or so has been, it's a company called Reverend Guitars, and I've been playing, my number one is called the Six Gun, and it's kind of a Fender Strat type setup, but it just has a little more turbo juice in it.
Gumption.
And yeah, and it feels amazing, and it's a company that's incredibly responsive. They every time I post something, they post a like or they post back.
That's cool.
So we built a relationship over the last 2 years, and I'm now an official Reverend Guitars artist, which has been the first time in my career that I've gotten to endorse like a real product, and it's I couldn't be prouder. These guitars are incredible.
Cool, excellent. So, I gotta thank you for coming on again and sharing this with us. You know, everyone in the studio is So, you know, we're gonna have you finish up the set with a song, or what are you gonna be playing for us?
The next song I'm gonna play is one off a brand new album I have coming out this month.
Cool.
Which is called Theory of History Part 2.
Great.
And this song is called Spy Satellite.
Excellent. We'll take it away.
Thank you.
I've seen enough. You don't deserve my trust. No discussion, no meaning. I can't suppress the sin that you suggest. With deep regret, I'm leaving. Once I'm clear from here, I'll keep an eye on you. I seem to disappear, a new phase of the moon. Oh. I'll move so quietly in the darkness of the night. High orbit flight, spy satellite. I'll move so silently and watch from way up high. Just out of sight, spy satellite. And from afar, just like an evening star, I'll write a memoir on you. I will account, and I will scream it out. Steal the power you've accrued. In your hubris, you will never see the fall. Your words are toothless, and you cannot fool us all. Oh. I'll move so quietly in the darkness of the night. High orbit flight, spy satellite. I'll move so silently, watch from way up high. Just out of sight, spy satellite. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll move so quietly in the darkness of the night. High orbit flight, spy satellite. I'll move so silently, watch from way up high. Just out of sight, spy satellite. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for watching PCN Life. It was great having you.
We had a blast. To see repeats of PCN Life or PCN, be sure to check us out on YouTube, Facebook, at our website, or on our Prime channel. And stay on top of it all by following us on Twitter at PACTV News.
We will see you back here on PCN Life in 2 weeks, but be sure not to miss a brand new PCN next week at 8 p.m.
We'll see you then.